Words of wisdom. An ounce of sauce covers a multitude of sins, my friend. All true.
All true.
All true, dude. Red, green, black, ugly. All of them covers the bad shit I've done before.
It's all true. It's all true.
Welcome back, man. This is the Fat, Drunk, and Happy Show. The truth is we're all just going to sit around and talk some smack. We're here with lovely Mr. Dave Mao. How are you, brother?
I'm doing quite well, sir. A little road weary, but I'll live. Yeah.
Yeah. So you just traveled many miles to come down here, to come back to join us tonight. Where were you at, man? Just beautiful pictures were awesome.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, just jammed up the east side of the Sierras. You know, I'm a west side guy. You know, work up outside of Yosemite. So I'm up the west side a lot, but pretty rare to get up the 395. So I just did Whitney Portal and Bishop and, you know, Mammoth Lakes real quick, and then turned back around and literally just came screaming home to do this. So,
dude, I'm uber jealous of both being up there and screaming home to do this.
You know, dude, I was stoked. Yeah, and you know, Taylor's looking at me like, "Are you gonna make it?" I'm like, "I'm gonna make it. God damn it!" Yeah,
bro, we always make it.
We always make it. That's rule number one. Absolutely.
Always fucking show up, right?
Yeah, that drives me crazy when people start vapor locking.
Right, dude. Yeah. You have to take a little blue pill. Just always show up, dude.
Yeah, exactly, man. Freaking better living through medicine. I'm not proud.
Yeah, it'll make me stand tall for 8 hours, but I'm in, dude. That's how it goes.
Yeah, exactly. Put it in a cereal bowl. Pour milk all over it. Like, yeah, leave them. I don't care.
You know, so I got to tell you, our last show did, you know, I was really fond of it. I always listen to at least once, but the last show I listened to a couple times, and you know, I thought that it was really cool that we had a lot in common, both inside and out of what's going on, and it's been a minute since I know, and out there in the world you're just hearing these, but since the last time we sat was a few weeks, and you know what's cool is since then, my whole world has changed, which is great. It's been a great thing, dude. I've actually stepped out of the kitchen. For those of you who don't know, which is not a big deal, it just means that I cook at home more. My house smells better. I have now food potpourri rather than regular plug-in potpourri in my house. Yeah. It smells like Mexican food now because I've been craving it for the last week and cooking it. However, you know, a lot that's come up is the words failure, which is crazy, man. And we're talking about kitchens and food and failure, and not meaning like in a negative way, but things you didn't really overcome or things you really do. And you know, I kept thinking, well, I'm out of the kitchen now. Is that a failure? Is that a, did I lose something? Like, it's a weird deal. You know, I knew I was doing it for the best. I got a family coming. I want nights and weekends off. And I wanted to learn about products, right? I really kind of got into this world where I thought these products that I'm learning about, nobody's going to bring that shit to me. So now that I'm able to expose myself to it. So I know that in my brain, it's not a failure, but not cooking all the time. And not running a restaurant? Fuck, man.
I mean, it's like, you know, we were just talking about a couple minutes ago.
It's crazy as shit, right, in my brain. Like, so it's a lot to weigh on.
And I went to film school, and you know, there was always the joke in film school that, you know, those that can't do, teach. You know, it was always the washout screenwriters that were teaching it, whatever.
Yeah,
and
man.
I'm not saying what you're doing is a failure.
No,
but
not at all, but that's in my brain, 100%.
Absolutely. And you know, you kind of get to those points in your life that are pivotal personally and professionally, and, you know, you're getting ready to have a kid, dude. It's
I know, like it could happen right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, keep your phone away from you.
Yeah, give me a second, but it could happen.
But yeah, you know, you kind of pivot around those moments in your life, and you know, if you're in a situation where, you know, I don't think it's a failure. You know, if it was, here's failure to me. Failure to me is falling back on your backup plan because it's the only thing you can do. To me, that's failure.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean. Like you're capable of. You're doing this. We're sitting here at, you know, 9 o'clock at night on a Thursday night. Like, clearly failure is not an option for you. You're out there coming out swinging. So
no, I'm just talking mentally. Like, mentally in my thing when I grew up as a kid, like, it's like, can I climb that tree? And I climbed the fucking tree. Can I swing that swing until it shoots me off and I hurt myself? Absolutely, 100%. Can I run every restaurant and make it successful? Yes. And then all of a sudden you go, man, I just don't want to do that anymore. And it's not that the act or the end goal is a fail, but in your brain, you have to categorize what you're doing as, is this the right move? And the truth is, absolutely, 100%.
Of course, clearly,
dude,
yes.
The negative battle in my brain right now is so wild. It's so wild from coming from like cooking every day to literally now I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to help these chefs find things and do things. And I love it. Don't get me wrong. But that little nervous tick, that little fucking thing in the back of my head is a real thing.
It is. And was just my friend Cassandra, who I'll probably reference as we hopefully do more of these. Cassandra, we went to film school around the same time. She went to Chapman, I went to Fullerton. She's sort of a sounding board, you know, certainly the most guy friendish of my female friends, you know, gifted food stylist and commercial stylist, just brilliant. And we talk about a lot of big life stuff, and she's kind of in position that a lot of people our age is in, she's kind of getting a little sick of production, and the years kind of wear on you after a while, and she's kind of thinking about getting into real estate, but she has the same battle. She's like, well, I went to school to make movies, to be a director or a screenwriter, and now I'm going to be a real estate agent. And I go through the same thing. Like, I'm opening a new restaurant. I'm stoked, chef, but what if it didn't work out? Guess what, man? Maybe working for a purveyor and having health insurance and all the other stuff sounds like a good idea. So, or getting a corporate gig, doing corporate development or something like that.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, I've actually made more money and had more connects and been able to open up to more people now. It's just that little hurdle in your brain where you go, did I do enough, or did I whatever? That little voice in the back of your head that's like the evil me. That tells me all the time, hey man, and like it's kicking me in the back of the head, and I'm like, dude, you know what? I've made more dinners for my family in the last week than I have in the last 10 years. I've actually seen my daughter every day for 7 days straight. I saw my daughter, which is the first, I think, ever in my life. Even she told me, she's like, are you sure you're coming home again tomorrow? Like, she was all perplexed. Like,
I like that raise.
I just saw you.
That raised eyebrow was really cool.
Yeah.
I can tell when you're serious when you do that. That's cool.
She was committed, dude. And I was like, well, what do you mean? Why wouldn't I come home tomorrow? She's like, I haven't seen you this much ever. So to me, it's 100% win, but overcoming the biggest hurdles. Like, I look at the biggest hurdles in my life, and this is the first one that I decided to go away from. I don't know if you have anything else like that in your life, but I decided, I made a conscious choice to be like, nah, I'm good. I'm gonna go another direction, and it's still in the same boat, dude. I hang out with chefs all day and eat great food, and like this week we ate Valrhona chocolate and República de Cacao, like the best chocolate on the planet. I had to try all 65 of them. What a fucking bummer.
Yeah, it's a super drag. Yeah, right.
Uber good, right? It's like wine that tastes like chocolate. I mean, there's nothing wrong. Like, it's 100% win, but in my brain, there's something that I made a decision that like kicks on this weird.
I mean, I know when I get in those situations, I don't like feeling like an adult. I'm 52.
Well, yeah, adulting sucks.
And I'm 52, and I'm stoked that I can rock what I just did. I was up in the high Sierras for a couple of days. Oh, cool. I'm going to come ripping home, throw my shit in the garage and come do a podcast. Love it. I still have a lot of energy for my age. But, when I get in those situations where I have to, quote unquote, be an adult, it doesn't sit well with me either. It's like putting on a pair of underwear that's a little bit too tight. You know what I mean? Like, oh, man, this feels
Or like
weird.
a couple days too old.
Or a couple days too old. Yeah, exactly. Right.
You're like, I pulled this one out before. Fuck. That should definitely go back in the dirty. Yeah, but dude, I don't know.
Well, but I think when I was kind of getting cleaned up for the podcast, and I was thinking about me and you sitting down together and having similar mindsets about so many things, chef, and neither one of us are one trick ponies or one dimensional, and I think that and that's not being boastful, but just who we are.
No, I got my hand in a million pots. The best pot wins, man.
Yeah, and it's kind of that idea of the multidimensionality of being a chef. Like, now, even though you're landing in this particular space at this particular moment, who knows what you're going to do after this? But we're multidimensional, and real chefs to me aren't just about food. We just talked about the last one. Think beyond the past. Don't treat people like plates. All that other nonsense.
Well,
you know what I mean?
And the other thing too that's been racking my brain was like, I thought as a chef, like, it was all about the food, and really I can do that all day long. I have no problem dealing with all the food and all the structure and what I'm doing with flavor profiles. You know what I really figured out is that I don't want to deal with, I'm not a good leading people person, right? Like I don't want, like, you give me a team of cooks, I want them to just robot and do whatever. And maybe with the new generation, maybe that's a fail, man. I don't know. Like, I literally went, man, I don't think I'm good at that. Like, leading the new generation of like my old generation was throw pans at your head and you learned.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Now you have to coddle these guys.
Well, we touched on the last one.
Yeah, and
it's just a different world right now.
I don't know if I have that. And this is part of it. Part of the thought process to get out of the kitchen, because you're like, dude, this is what we're dealing with. So this is it until it turns, whenever that is. And I don't know if I can hang, dude. I thought about that too. Like, now I'm thinking, I'm like, shit, dude, maybe I'm just not good at that.
I mean, whether you like it or not, dude, that clock starts ticking. I'm looking at, like I said, I feel pretty frosty at 52. I'm going to be 53 here pretty quick. Can I rock this for another 10 years? Probably not. You know what I mean? Like, it just is what it is. What's my fallback plan? Real estate, working for a vendor, I don't know. You know what I mean? And yeah, it's an interesting conundrum. And that adulting thing, when you start making decisions, not because it's fun or edgy or cool, or you're trying to be something that you think you should be, and you're just being, my friend Cassandra, again, she just said, I was talking about a good friend of ours, Gary Gomez, a musician from the Dollhead era, and
right.
he's all settled down in Wisconsin, working as a city attorney, handling municipal law, miscellaneous crime.
Right.
And and his life by comparison seems pretty, stale's the wrong term, but pretty not mundane, but I was like, that sounds kind of good, actually. You know what I mean? Like not being on the road, not doing this and not doing that. You know what I mean? And I was like, oh, that's kind of comfortable, but that entails being an adult, and that probably doesn't sit very well with guys like me or you. So
yeah, I don't know, man. I'll tell you right now, I love being home. I'm not gonna lie, home's been very wonderful, but to have to like to have to like look at something as a past, as be like a decision maker to move forward, has definitely been a mind altering event in the last little bit. And I've left a lot of restaurants. Shit, man, I've left more restaurants than most people have worked at. And that's not like bragging about it. That's just the fucking terms of endearment. That's how it's gone. This one was literally like, nah, it's time to do something else. And so the path leads to other things. I love sitting with other chefs and other people and it being enlightened all the time about food and life and structure. But really what it comes down to is like what makes you happy. And that little monkey, the little monkey keeps beating me in the back of the head. Like, hey man, you should keep cooking.
Well, and you walk into
the evil bastard.
You walk into the DMV. You look at who's working at the DMV for 25, 30 years. I couldn't do it. I'd go fucking crazy. You know what I mean?
I would go nuts.
But there's people that plug right into that. They like the stability. They like the benefits. They like showing up.
Yeah.
It's not my jam, dude. Even at my age, it's not where I'm at.
So how do you feel about the new place you're opening? So last time we talked to you, you were just doing some things. How's it coming along?
We're kind of getting there slow but sure.
Still fighting the man, right?
Still fighting the man, unfortunately, but
Yep.
we'll be getting there. We did our first private event out there, hence the leftover tapenade and all that stuff that I brought up to the mountain.
Yeah, the shrimp.
Yeah, the shrimp.
The 2-day warm shrimp.
The 2-day warm shrimp.
Sounds delicious.
We're coming along. It's a really exciting project. It's just an interesting footprint out there in Palm Springs with the seasonality, and we were talking about that.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It just works with the reverse of probably what we're used to and what I'm used to working in the Sierras. It's just the exact opposite, but it's coming along. It's a great opportunity. This is certainly the best cultural fit I think I've ever had. The people from Spaceland understand me culturally, where my rock and roll background plugs into food, and my love of California, like we were talking about that idea of new California cuisine, which is what I'm landing out there. There's a lot of wiggle room in there. It covers a lot of bases. So yeah, I'm really excited about the project. To be perfectly honest, I don't like holding very much. In fact, I did a private event out there and I was working with Chef Cloudy, who's going to be my sous, and she looked at me and she's like, "Hey, what's the matter with you, Chef?" Because I was definitely running at about 63%. I'm like, "Hey, my knife hand's pretty rusty. I really haven't, done an event, and I've done some one-off for Take a Chef and a few other things." But I haven't done like a big event in a while, and I was definitely feeling it. So yeah, I'm definitely getting itchy to get cooking again. So yeah.
See what I mean?
I know, dude. I know.
See what I mean? And you say it. Dude. I'm the same way. The other day, I went into this kitchen and these guys were asking me for advice, and I was just watching what they're doing and like whatever. And it was so hard for me not to assume the role, like just to be the freaking chef. Like man, and I just was like, no, man, let me help you. What do you think? Like. I had to back because I don't want to be that guy. I'm not that guy, right? Like that's not my role right now. And so on the back end, here I am, like powder coating the guy who's cooking me. Like, well, let's try it this way because I'm not their chef. Even though they're like, hey, Jefe, like they know who I am, but I'm like, no, I don't want to. I'm gonna go about this a different way, and it's unique, man.
Yeah, and I mean, from a vendor, it's an interesting point. If you, if you want to shoot yourself in the foot with a chef. Try walking in as a vendor and telling his guys what to do. Like you would too. If one of my vendors came in and started, hey, do it this way. You'd be like, hey, dude, this is my kitchen.
Yeah, kick tail, bro.
Yeah, you're selling me stuff. Get out of here right now. Yeah, it's got to be an interesting kind of and when your knee jerk reflex is to do that. I know that Band of Brothers. I'm a Band of Brothers guy.
Oh, dude.
And there's that great scene when Major Winters they're leading that charge and Foxhole Norman is bungling and they're stuck behind the hay bales and the snipers and he's standing there at the tree line with the Colonel Sink, the company commander or whatever, and he like grabs his rifle and Colonel Sink's like, don't you go run out there. That's not your job. And he got whatever the badass guy that shot all the German prisoners.
Yeah.
He got him like, go in there, take the attack in or whatever. And that's your instincts. In fact, this is probably the most intense role as an executive chef that I've stepped into so far creatively. And, you can't be the guy that grabs a rifle and runs in. You have to tell the other guys to grab the rifle and go run in. And that's it's a complicated thing to get your head around when your gut is telling you that this needs to be done right now in this particular manner, and you can't go do it. It's a lot.
It's 100% the opposite of what I know.
I know, dude. I just run on pure instinct, man. Just like, yeah, I'm right there with you.
And it's nice. It's been really nice to relinquish power. It's been like, okay, cool. Because I'm still creative. I'm like, hey, man, try this or whatever, and they listen. But really, the action of what has to happen has nothing to do with me. I guess it's just an idea. I'm gonna throw the ball at the wall. No, if it goes flat, it goes flat.
It's just that when I fight it all the time, both especially on the bar side. Even like sometimes when I don't drink anymore. I still like going to bars.
Of course,
I see the bartender in the weeds, and I'm just like, dude, how about? I got this. Like, get the fuck out of here. Like, yeah, and you just, it's not your place, man. It's just, you can't really do it.
You gotta just put your hands up and kind of smile, man. So I'm gonna ask you, where are you at with the menu now? Last time we were talking about white pozole. I remember a couple of things you were talking about that I was really intrigued about. Are you still on the same track with the style of food out there?
Yeah, we're kind of, like I said, we're trying to take a lot of West Coast cultural influences and kind of slam them all together. And I did like a quick tour of the Southern California mission system. And kind of got some ideas where, Spanish cuisine slammed into indigenous,
Spanish slams into everything in America.
Oh, it's crazy.
Spanish and Italian, right? I mean, in general, you're either having a pizza pasta sandwich or you have something that's Hispanic. On the West Coast, for sure.
For sure.
Like, there's if you're eating something, I just don't see anything that doesn't involve one of those two things.
Yeah, and you go north of Monterey, and it's the same thing for Italian food. Like, that's just how it is.
That's what I mean. Like, in the West Coast, that's it.
No, it's nuts. And the more, I was thinking, again, I was just geeking out for a few minutes, and I love, I tell people, you want to understand California history, follow the water and follow the rails. Like that's how California rolled. They follow the water and they lay down rails.
Follow the rails can mean a lot.
Yeah, exactly. Like, follow the rails.
Most people in LA will tell you, "Oh yeah, I followed them."
Follow the rails. Bro. You got straight to jail.
I met every good friend I ever knew in the bathroom.
But
true story.
I made a couple.
4 o'clock in the morning.
I made a couple good deals, and not just deals. I made a couple good deals in there. But I was talking about American history and how sort of transportation, a lot of things kind of affected how things developed, but that idea of American beef and how it developed in the late 1800s from stockyards in Dodge City and Kansas City
100%.
And Chicago. Like, I guess what I'm trying to get at is, as chefs, we have a certain way we manipulate food. We think about situations and logistics and all that other stuff. But I find it particularly fascinating to understand where our headspace comes from historically with certain things, and certainly there's an infinite amount of influences that kind of encompass that. And I don't know, that was a little sidetrack. Sorry about that, but yeah, it's just interesting for me to kind of get my head around what made what, where, and why. And certainly the menu here at the Alibi in Palm Springs is giving me a lot of.
Ooh, he just said the name.
Ooh, I just said the last name. Dave's got a restaurant. Dave's got a restaurant.
The Alibi, I like that, dude.
Yeah.
At least it's not the Rainbow Room. Last time I was in Palm Springs, I got stuck at the Rainbow Room.
Nice.
That probably is more stories than I want to share on here, but it was a wild night. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, I bet.
I didn't pay for any drinks.
I would imagine not, Chef. You are pretty hunky.
Hey, man, they like the belly. I don't know what happened, dude. It was great.
But I don't think you're bearish enough for the Otters, and I don't think you're Otterish enough for the Bears. You're like someplace in the.
I honestly didn't even know I walked in there, and somebody's like, it's the Rainbow Room. I'm like, I just want a cocktail. I was hammered when I went in there. We left actually the Hard Rock, which was the Ace, right? Isn't that same one with all the tagging on the walls?
Yes.
So I left there, walked down, and just went to the nearest bar. I had no idea. And I was at the Rainbow Room. It was a great time. They treated me well.
No, I would imagine. Yeah, and Palm Springs is a very interesting place.
They were very nice.
It's very nice there. Absolutely.
They weren't afraid either.
No, there is no fear in Palm Springs, Chef.
Yeah.
There is no fear in Palm Springs.
Yeah, and I had a key to the pool, so, everybody came back.
That's great. Yeah.
It was a good time. It was a good time. With that being said, man, we're going to take a break, and we'll be right back. We're going to talk about more with Dave Mao.